In this video I'm gonna make this animation. I'm gonna hand carve it, and then we're gonna do some stop motion, and at the end I'm gonna show you where I'm using it. So what I'm looking here is for a piece of wood that would make it easier for the body of the rocket. And I have some pieces of wood that I collected over the years. And I want to make it from this soft wood, but I don't think this is enough. Okay. So what I'm thinking of doing is just have some sort of a rocket like that. Okay, let's see how I will do it. So I actually did one rocket before, but it's a fail, and I don't like the shape. And I will do it again from this piece of wood, and I'm gonna be more careful about the overall body of the rocket. This is called a marking gouge, and you can probably guess what it does. From the name, it lets you make small marks in the wood. I'm going to use a small Proxen tool. It's like a rotary tool that will allow me to make these small channels, these small grooves where the fins or the wings are going to go into the body of the rocket. You need to take your time with these tools because they are not very powerful, and I'm just going very slowly, deeper and deeper until I reach the depth that I want. The next step will be to create some kind of template. This will help me a lot when I'm going to carve it. It's just to keep the basic shape as proportionally and as symmetric as I can. So safety before everything, I'm using these special gloves. You can find them on Amazon. And I'm going to start with carving with a Mora knife. This is a Mora knife 122. And it takes a lot of material. It's always fun to create something on some graphics or some kind of creative work on the computer, but I think you get such more satisfaction when it's in the physical world, and like in this case, this block of wood is gonna take the shape that I want, and you don't need to look at a screen, and it's so relaxing. And I think as a creative, as a designer, you should try different mediums and just break the day-to-day sitting at your computer, at your laptop habits. I think the work is going to be more personalized like this. I changed the knife. This is another Mora knife. It's the Mora 120, and it allows me to get more finer cuts. I'm finished with the general shape, and now I'm going to make the little, the little wings. And I don't want to do it anymore from aluminum, I'll do it from wood. I'm just going to use a small saw, and I need some way to clamp so it's easier to cut. And it doesn't go everywhere, so that's about it. Let's see. I probably should mention that I have quite a lot of tools, especially hand tools, because That's a hobby of mine, and I also have another channel on YouTube where I create projects with hand tools. But you don't need those many tools. I just enjoy working with hands also, or combining, having kind of a mixed media in my projects. So this is my homemade jig. I'm gonna clamp it right here, and then I'm gonna use a chisel. Then I'm gonna use a chisel to clean up those things. So you see a lot of tools, but it's because I'm quite boring in the last 15 years. The things that I most spend my money are some tools, some gear, and books. I don't go in fancy restaurants. I don't buy expensive clothes. That's why if you see a plethora of tools, is because with every project that I make, I try to buy a new tool or a new book, or put my money in some kind of new camera, and this brings me joy. And everybody's different, and everybody spends their money how they want. I don't think that these tools are I just bought them from nothing. I bought them in the last 15 years. So I'm finished with the small wings. They fit it, some better than other, but it's okay for now. I just need to glue them up, and then put a rod here, and then create some flames, like a couple of cutouts of flames. I need to see if I have paper. But this is about it, and now I'm gonna glue it up, and that's the stubby little rocket. Cool. I marked it before when it was square, so it would be easier now to have it somehow centered. Doesn't need to go that far. I'm gonna have a metal rod right there, and that's how it's gonna rotate. So next thing that I want to do is put a little bit of shellac, this natural coating that is used for hundreds or thousands of years, which is not toxic, and it dries really, really fast. The next thing that I want to do is create some flames for the rocket booster. So I'm thinking like something like that. I have a small one, a yellow one inside. I'm thinking this is gonna go like, it's gonna grow and contract, expand and contract. I don't know. Okay. I think the size is perfect. I think this will work just fine. I can actually glue it up, see how it looks. I'm gonna use this tacky, what is this? Tacky adhesive putty. I don't know. You can find it in every Home Depot or I don't know, library. So I'm gonna put a little bit of there and look. I think rotate and then yeah, it's perfect. Nice. I'm gonna make it out of red and yellow paper. Something I have here some red and yellow paper, and how is it gonna be? I think the yellow it's outside and the red is inside, or the other way around. So now that I have them all, I'm just gonna glue them. Yeah, I'm gonna do more. I have made more of them, and now off camera I did a little bit of carving here. When I put the rod inside of it, when I put the rod in the rocket and I try to see how it looks, because this was flat, it doesn't look right. So what I did, I carved a little bit, so now when you put the flame, it will go a little bit, let me see, so it will go a little bit inside, like that. So it's gonna look like it's coming from inside. So how I did this is I have a hook knife that is used for, I think, for spoons and other carving stuff. It's a hook knife, and then I just carve a little bit in the inside, like that. And then I have this, what is this? Concave surface. So the hook knife is very good. You need to have a certain technique to not put it in your hand. So you need to one hand to hold it and with the other one to control it, and then you don't get injured. But that's it. Now the next step would be to set up here some kind of small background and try to do the stop motion animation. Good. So the setup is something like this. I have the rocket on a clamp and with a black background. I have a large diffusion to create a nice light on the left side. And I have here a remote for Dragon Frame to take the pictures. And besides it, I have my laptop with Dragon Frame opened, and when I take a screenshot, or when I take a photo, I can see the preview. I already made 2 animations. I think this one works the best. And I'm taking the pictures with my Olympus camera. So that's the setup. So now that I'm done with the stop motion, I also edited a little bit in DaVinci Resolve, or a little bit more. I'm using the animation for my website. I think it's creates an interesting graphic, and also I'm using it for some social media to promote my skills. I hope you enjoyed. You see how you can do stuff that looks more human, as we are living in the age of AI. I think this imperfection just creates a unique style and makes you different from everybody using the same tools. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.